glorious conditions. Even the Prime Minister is soaking up the rays here for Sunday afternoon football in the Shire. And it is a very strong crowd, as you'd imagine here in the heart of Cronulla territory. It is a sea of blue and white, and the Sharks face a very simple equation this afternoon. A victory will have them back inside the top 8. Of course, their crosstown rivals, St George Illawarra, would love nothing more than to throw a gigantic spanner in the finals works of this Cronulla-Sutherland outfit. They're chasing back-to-back wins, the Dragons, for the first time since round 6 this season, after winning a weird and wonderful contest against the Gold Coast last week. Tyson Frizzell wearing 13, and here's Gareth Widdop leading the Dragons out. He needs another 23 points to become the first Englishman to score 1,000 points at Premiership level, Gareth Widdop. And another champion Englishman in the lineup as well, James Graham.
Yeah, playing just his 7th game this season. They certainly missed his direction, his leadership. And he'll be a key player for them tonight or this afternoon against this Cronulla side, who really face an acid test. They've had some good results go their way, with the sides immediately behind them coming in this weekend in the Wests Tigers and the Warriors being beaten. But a chance this afternoon to go into the 8, to join Penrith, and they do so with pretty much a full-strength side. Paul Gallen turned 38 during the week. Andrew Fafita, the only player that I would imagine would be in this 17, so this is as good as it gets for the Sharks, and so much on the line.
38, still playing NRL.
Oldest player to play in the NRL, Andrew, since 1967. Billy Wilson, former international, played for North Sydney way back then at the same age as Gal. So he is in his last campaign, but still doing some good things. Now, we remember down in Wollongong when they met earlier in the year, Bronson Xerri was absolutely electric. 3 tries in Cronulla's 22-9 victory at Wynn Stadium. That was back in round 11. The Dragons have won their last 2 games here at PointsBet Stadium and won both fixtures last year. It is the most glorious of afternoons, and Cronulla have so much to play for, but this is a rivalry that sparks enormous tension and has produced some outstanding contests over the decades. The Sharks and the Dragons to round out Women in League round on Sunday afternoon here in the Shire, and Vaughan charges back into Wade Graham. Plays it outside his own 10. Here's James Graham. He was acknowledged so brilliantly last week at full time after the match against the Titans for his 400th top grade game here and in the UK. Now, Luciano Leilua. He's got a bit of responsibility, this young man, with a weakened Dragons back row. No Tarek Sims. We know Jack DeBellin hasn't been seen all year, but he is a player of great promise and great skill as well, as Norman. Wearing jumper number 1. Fires the first kick down to Matt Moylan for this afternoon. Back from a hamstring problem, Matt. And he's tackled here within 13 metres of the halfway line.
Yeah, good set defensively to start from the Sharks. Opposition kicked from 35 out from their own line. They've got decent field position early in their first set as Gallen gets one of what will be many touches this afternoon. He takes it over the halfway line.
And he's tackled by Patrick Kafusi as Woods plays out to Johnson. And the 11, Britton Nakora, tackled on the Dragons' 40-metre line. Here's Pryor now. He spent some time coming off the bench over the last few weeks. He got whacked around the ribs last week, was in a little bit of doubt early in the week, but has made it to the starting line today. Johnson pings one up into the air. Ravalawa under it, and he's lost this. Good pressure from Fecky, and Dugan down there too, and Nakora.
Well, despite the sun shining right into the eyes of Zach Lomax on the other flank for the Dragons, I would imagine that this will be the wing that the Cronulla kickers will look to go at. He's a strong ball carrier as Ravalawa, but he can struggle a little bit under the high ball. And the first opportunity here for the Sharks.
Well, we've got Paul Gallen inside centre here. I dare say he may be running a decoy. Yep.
He was, and then Graham got it off the back of that. He fires a pass out. Oh, gee, Morris was virtually unmarked there.
Well, I don't think the sun got in his eyes, Matt. It was facing the wrong way.
I think it would have been an obstruction anyway. He double dips. He went behind the lead runner. You can't do that. Here it is. Yeah, fractionally behind him. Can't have two bites of the cherry.
Now Vaughan.
Or the sherry.
Yep. Not had any bites he'll inflict upon the Dragons today. Now McInnes, how good has he been this year? In a team that's been badly beaten for most of the campaign, he has been absolutely superb. And now Ben Hunt, that kick takes a rebound. Dragons with the ball back here. Norman throws it on the boot, but Morris will clean up. He's tackled by Kafusi and Graham. It is a great rivalry, these two clubs. The last two matches, though, have been somewhat lopsided. I mentioned the score back in round 11, 22-9. In the game previous, it was 40 points to 20. The Dragons with a comprehensive win over the Sharks. So not always predictable, despite the hard-fought nature of these local derbies. Played by Dugan. Up over the halfway goes Moylan. And he fires it to Graham. And then a draw and pass. It doesn't go to hand. Bronson Sherry was under pressure. And the ball goes over the touchline. Zach Lomax called in to replace the young gun Jason Saab this afternoon. Lomax in 21, playing on the right wing.
Yeah, and even if that pass had been delivered, Josh Morris again very flat there.
I don't know how many times we see centres passing to wingers and the ball goes forward or behind.
Yep.
Why wouldn't they just give them 2 metres of insurance?
Here's Lomax, playing his 11th match of the season. Tackle 10 short of the halfway line. Here goes Vaughan into Cronulla's half. And he broke out of the first attempt to tackle. Strong run by the New South Wales Origin prop, who wins a penalty on the back of that.
On momentum, guys.
Yeah, nice charge there, and that's what he can do, Paul Vaughan, with his footwork. He got between Gallen and Brayley, picked up good metres, went for the quick play of the ball, and I'll look to slow him down, so they come down this end of the field now. Get the ball to Zach Lomax. He's got the brightest boots I've ever seen.
They're glowing and it's not even dark yet. Here's Graham in the middle of the field, right foot step, and he's tackled 5 short. They are some boots, aren't they, Pete? Now McInnes.
Going his way.
And then Widdop and then Hunt. The ball's been lost again. Gee, there's some dicey handling through the first 6 minutes of this, which is probably in contrast to the conditions the teams have been tossed up this afternoon. Speaking of conditions, might go down to Brad. Ideal afternoon maybe for a bit of earthing for you down there, Freddie.
Yes, the shoes will be offloaded, but you can see all the errors are over on the sun side where the sun's hitting them straight in the eyes. There's a big breeze behind the Cronulla team. I believe the Dragons feel like that wind is going to get bigger or more ferocious in the second half. Yeah, conditions outside that are wonderful.
And the ground's a treat too, really great surface. The Sharks with 9 wins in the season so far. On 20 competition points, teetering on the brink of the 8. Here's Gallen. He captains his club for the 200th time today. It's one heck of an achievement, isn't it? At the back, Nakora now charging, and he found Gareth Widdop in the line, but the Dragons skipper stood his ground and dragged him down. Now Johnson And an inside pass to Aaron Woods. Tackled on St George Illawarra's 30-metre line. Townsend, it's way too deep.
He gets the wind wrong there, Townsend. That was 10 metres too far. Nice pass.
Yeah, and the lead-up play to that, I know that for the kick on the last, you want to get into a good position to do so, but on the fourth tackle, I don't understand just the turning of a front rower back on the inside to take a hit up. Late in the tackle count, I think you've got to try and put some attacking pressure on the opposition.
Well, Nakora found Widdop, went over the top of him. They got a quick play the ball with one marker and then just went another settler.
Go next, yeah.
So your halfback stands up and attacks. You've got to strike on those.
He's Widdop, playing out to Ben Hunt, then Norman catching and passing in one motion out to Lomax. It was a floating pass and that allowed Cronulla's defence to get across and cover on that side of the ground. 18 out from the line. Ball goes to Graham, centre field. He's nearly busted through there, James. Just poking their heads through the line, these Dragons big men at the moment. Here's a pass for Kafusi, who got a one-hander back. And Cronulla have come back with the ball. Johnson Sherry dumped into the ground. And now Josh Morris. 11 tries for the season, the most of any Shark out there.
Yeah, I think both sides are trying to give us a good game, but it's scrappy from both so far in the opening 9 minutes. There's a penalty for play the ball infringement. The game settles down a little bit, we might get a good contest as Chad Townsend goes for plenty with this kick.
Oh.
Will it find touch?
It rolls
yes,
over.
It does.
He must have twigged that he's got the wind behind his back after the last kick. He used it to advantage that time. And Sherry is tackled 10 out. It goes to Townsend with a ball for Gallen. Wrapped up by McInnes and Patrick Kafusi. 8 short of the line. Townsend centre field. Johnson around the back. Oh, he floats it over for Dugan, who juggled. And it went backwards. It was a Dragon's hand, though. And the tackle count has been restarted. Dugan across the field, trying to find a lazy defender. He's broken out of a tackle. He's created an overlap. He fires it for Morris. One step, trying to get another one away, but his bootlaces were tied up by Lomax, and they've got another penalty.
He was let down by his outside man on the left side. Dugan skipping across field. He just needed somebody to punch a really hard hole there, and they would have went straight over. But I like that, something unorthodox, which confused the defence.
So Gallen starts this. He's got a late offload away. Brayley, head down, goes for the line, stopped.
Held it, still got it.
Couple of blades of grass short. Out now for Townsend, who goes to Johnson, and then he feeds a short pass. It's been spilt, another handling error.
Yeah, and that's why the Josh Dugan play and also the offload there to Jaden Brayley is when Cronulla looked best. They just went back into their shape there or their structure. But before that, this run here from Dugan, as Joey pointed out, the defenders have been spaced by him coming back across to where he's not expected to go. So if someone realises that and just punches into that and he can get a short ball on the outside, they're through. James Graham, a great bootlaces tackle there to save the day. But then into the structure, well read by the Dragons defence, and the mistake is forced.
Ravalawa, they're trying to sneak him down the wing. He's not going to go out. Oh, dear. He stayed in, but the ball went back for Dugan. The Dragons took the risk to it, and they've come up empty-handed. Here's Gallen this time.
There are acceptable risks and unacceptable ones, Matt, that falls into the latter category.
Townsend straightens, goes to Woods. Tackled by Graham. Then Vaughan, and then Frizzell to complete the tackle. Right under the black dot. southern end of Shark Park. Townsend gestured the kick, went out the back to Graham. And now Cherry. Ben Hunt grabbed him around the legs and wasn't letting go. And Aitken there as well. Here's Gallen. And Brayley goes left. Chance for Graham, held up in the tackle. There's some good desperate last-ditch defence in the Dragons at the minute. Ball goes for Townsend. Then he gives it out for Johnson. He's going to try and grab it through. It's off a Dragon leg. Knock back. Dragons have got the footy, and it's Gareth Widdop who's going to play it. Well, this is a strange old start.
It has been strange. Both teams are trying to win the game in the opening 15 minutes.
There's Paul McGregor. He's had a difficult season, not just on the field, but a number of off-field issues have haunted his team's campaign. Lua. 10 short of the halfway line. Tackled by Aaron Woods and Paul Gallen. And Vaughan, another tough carry. Gets it up to the halfway. No score after 14 minutes here. Chemist Warehouse Sunday football from the Shire. Sharks, Dragons. The ladder on the attack. And Widdop goes to the line. Tim Laffey tackled. Widdop with a really high kick. Across the ground, trying to ask a question of the Sharks outside men. Morris has gone up to grab that. The ball had bounced, so it doesn't constitute a mid-air catch, and Morris nearly breaks through them. Quick play the ball, Moylan. Vaughan was offside. He gave a short ball away, and the tackle was made on Townsend. Moylan's up there again. High tackle.
It was good stuff from the Sharks. Good quick play of the balls. Tyson Frizzell goes high on this man, Matt Moylan.
He's had 3 runs in 3 plays, Pete.
Yeah, and they've gone 50 metres and still got 5 tackles up their sleeve.
Here's Woods. Steadies things in the centre of the ground. Tackled by Frizzell. Jaden Brayley left. Townsend. He's pulled down 10 metres short of the Dragons line. Brayley for Moylan. Here's a chance. Bronson Sherry, no. It's about 4 tackles the Dragons have made now in try-scoring positions right against their line. Out now through Johnson. It goes to Nakora. Johnson around the back. Dugan's there. Collects the one-handed pass. Dugan within 7 metres of the Dragons line. They're holding up okay under pressure at the minute, St George Illawarra. Can they continue? Here's Graham. Away for Bronson Sherry. It's taken a hand of Lomax, and it's going to be another set of 6. Double knock on. First one against the Dragons.
But the big difference here, they get the ball to Wade Graham, and he's positioned going straight into the line. Watch this, catch and pass. What it does, it holds Ben Hunt there, which then creates room on the outside. Instead of coming around to those block plays, when Wade comes into the line straight, it just holds the outside defenders because he's a real threat to run himself. Instead of falling into your structures and your shapes and running those second man plays, if you've got a back rower or your 5'8" can dig into the line straight, put so much stress on the outside defenders.
All the Sharks are out on this right-hand side, and that's, of course, where they're going to come. Johnson couldn't sell a dummy that time. McInnes and Widdop the tacklers. Here's Gallen.
Well, the kick is certainly on from Cronulla in behind Laffey and Ravalawa. They go to the left side through Townsend and Moylan.
He's going to take the line on himself, Matt. Promotes the pass for Townsend, who stopped 9 out from the line. McInnes was the tackler. Wade Graham to dummy half. Tries to step in between Kafusi and Ben Hunt, and he got a bit closer than they might have thought initially. Gee, they've had some ball down here, haven't they? Sean Johnson for Nakora. Good defence. That was Leilua that time. Here's the last. Here's Brayley. He's going to stab it in. Woods is chasing. Woods has scored. The front rower gets the first try off a Brayley kick to the in goal. He hasn't yet.
Yeah. Tackle 6, mate. Got a try.
Yeah, I think the big fella
Just
got there
confirm he maintains
with ample
possession.
time. Beautiful kick from Brayley. In between
Aaron
Dragons
Woods'
defenders.
kick chaser was cleared as onside.
And it's a hooker and front rower in the contest, and Aaron Woods gets it
Possession
down.
is taken by Aaron Woods, who grounds the ball inside the dead ball line. We have a decision.
Gets his first try of the season.
And that will be a real nerve settler, won't it? Sharks with a stack of possession down on the Dragons line, and they've capitalised and made it 4-0. Brad.
They were doing that good, spreading it wide to the talented players. Let's just keep it in the middle, amongst the middlemen. The 5th time this week a front row has scored a try. Isuzu D-Max replay. The experienced Aaron Woods just waited for the right moment. The ball popped up beautifully. A nice downward pressure before the line. Daniel Alvaro, Adam Fanua-Blake, Payne Haas, Josh Papali, and now Aaron Woods. I'm not sure what that means. Hello to someone.
I reckon Payne Haas might have them all covered, though, with that extraordinary performance on Friday night against the Panthers.
Can you believe how good he is? And he's only just turned 19.
They couldn't get a paw on him, could they?
We were saying this morning, Joe, with Haas, it was just as impressive the 2 times previous to scoring that try. He's back in his own in-goal area, covering kicks.
He plays huge minutes.
Yeah.
He's agile. He dances around like a 90-kilo player. He's 115. He's a baby. Imagine him in 5 or 6 years' time.
Now the shoes have come off in the grandstand. And Johnson's converted to make it 6-0.
Not real good on the 10, okay? You've got to hold and get next to me.
Stand side, guys. Just wait. Wait, Corey. Wait for the 10, mate. Stay on. Wait up, mate. Wait, Corey. Stay on.
Sharks have had 18 play the balls in the Dragons' 20-metre zone. And they've come away with their opening try. Aaron Woods, the scorer, 6 points to 0. Pryor on the carry back, and look at all the white jumpers in there.
Release, Cameron. Here we are.
There was a threat of him being dragged back to his own in goal momentarily, but he's held now, and now Woods goes beyond the 10-metre line.
Now, Paul. Tyson. Cameron, go. Patrick, good now.
Now Graham at pace. Dummies! Through them! Graham to the halfway. He's got Sherry on the outside. He looked away from him. And now he stops. If he fed that ball to Bronson Sherry 10 metres before, he'd be putting it down.
Well, Ben Hunt, he's coming back on side. He's holding an arm.
It's one of those occasions, Matt, he had too long to think about it. Sherry was just the pass. You just draw the fullback and find your left centre.
You see the sprinter there, you just give him the ball, don't you? Here's Gal. He's going to be stopped within 10 of the line. Playing it here to Brayley. It comes across to Townsend. And then out to Sean Johnson. And then Moylan numbers. Becky in the corner this time. Now this is a tight one against the sideline.
Yeah, the knee gets very close.
At first look, I'm not sure, Pete.
I have tackle 6. We have a try. Just confirm grounding and
They
then
rarely get these wrong.
The knee gets very close. I think it is a try, but this does get very close at the end.
Yeah, all good.
Nico.
The Sharks have gone whack, whack, and now they lead 10-0.
It was a beautiful set play.
Sasai remains in the field of play and grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
And it's a formation they run because it's the last play. Normally on this sort of formation, the winger would be coming from outside in, closing it down. Because he's back there for a kick, Ravalawa, here's the break. Wade Graham gets into the open. Look left, Wade, look left. Sherry, he's jogging. He doesn't panic. They'll go through the formation. Johnson will get across field. Isuzu D-Max replay. And they'll attack the gap out wide. Lafai will come in. Ravalawa would normally be coming in, but because it's the last play, he's back for the kick. So as long as they can get Lafai coming in, see Ravalawa, he's right back there. His assignment normally would be coming up and snuffing that out with Moylan. Because he's back for the kick, they get him beautifully. Alana?
It was a really important set. After points, the Sharks have done really well. Wade Graham got them up there, but Sean Johnson taking the ball to the line, getting Lafai out of it, and Fecky finishing it off. Well done to the Sharks.
He's a relief man, Wade Graham. He did put you one, and when you have a look at that replay, Sherry on the outside, he was waiting for Jaden Brayley on his inside, Matt. The speedy hooker.
All's well that ends well. Sean Johnson himself closing in on 1,000 career points. Only 3 Kiwis have done that in the NRLs to date, and Johnson swings it back. Great kick, 12-0. Well, we're going to learn a thing or two about the Dragons' fortitude here. They're down 12-0 after 22 minutes. They can't make the finals. Can they raise an effort and make life hard for their arch rivals, Cronulla? He's going with it now. And the try scorer, Sasai Fecky, who will join Castleford in the UK on a 3-year deal next season. Pryor playing it. Now Woods. He can offload. He got it back to Pryor. He went into Townsend. He decides to kick on the 4th. He drills it towards the corner. And this ball stays in. Corey Norman has to rush back and get it. He's tackled 4 metres out from his own line by Bronson Sherry. Now Ewan Aitken, where's he going? Nowhere. And Lomax running one out, and the Sharks can get plenty of numbers in the tackle.
And look at that around the ruck. The big man just getting back on side. The early kick just turning around the Dragons team, but also taking a lot of petrol out of the middle forwards for the Dragons.
McInnes. That was a good tackle around the legs. It was Jaden Brayley on his opposing number 9.
Yeah, it was wonderful play from McInnes to find those metres, but then to get the quick play the ball and allow the kicker plenty of time to do so. It wasn't the best purchase on the ball, but they were going nowhere until the 9 got them going forward and the quick play the ball.
Now Widdop chases out a marker and makes the tackle on Fecky. He's stopped on his own 40-metre line. And Dugan hurries one away. I'm not sure Chad Townsend's all that grateful.
So once again, Dugan skipping across field. He got right across to Ben Hunt, and the outside men for Cronulla were just watching it. They had to be punching those holes on the outside.
Now Moylan with a step in behind them, can't get through, got the ball away. It's a Cronulla knock on.
Well, they're appealing that it was a Dragons' hand here. Nice play by Moylan, quick play the ball. He quick play the ball, the spots to attack around the ruck. Big left foot step, gets on the inside of James Graham. It's gone forward out of the hand of Moylan. But nice play by Moylan.
more here, Sharks.
The NRL is a proud advocate for equality, empowerment and championing young females to drive change. This Harvey Norman Women in League round, the NRL continues to celebrate the women who are transforming the game. It's been a great celebration again this weekend in Leilua. Tackled by Paul Gallen, playing it to McInnes. He gives a very flat ball away to Paul Vaughan. Gets up within a metre of the halfway line. McInnes away to Hunt. And then a pass to Aitken. And Graham juggles before he got it back for Frizzell. He's trying to find a bit of room. Can't crash through a gap on the Sharks' left-hand defence. 25 out from the line. Ben Hunt first receiver. Gareth Widdop second. Leilua and then Norman, and then Ravalawa was left it behind. Look out! Look out! Dugan down the wing. Sees off Widdop. He's had the ball taken away.
Surrender! Here it is. Out now. Hold. Hold square. Hold it. Hold square, Sean. Hold. Hey, Josh.
Now Ravalawa, having made that mistake to give Cronulla the ball back, is tackled on the halfway line.
Get up now! Wait.
Frizzell. Can't get past the marker. That was Graham with the tackle. Near the 30-metre line of Cronulla. It comes to Ben Hunt. Out to Gareth Widdop. Leilua! He's through a hole. Oh, he tried to push the pass, and it's going to go back to the Sharks again.
This is what he has to learn in his game, Leilua. He's all or nothing. If he sees the chance, he always goes for points. Whether it's an offload through the line, he's always looking for points. In this situation, the best play is maybe get out and play the ball quick and get him on the next couple of plays.
Now Bronson Sherry. He's into the clear. He's galloping away. He's got Johnson. Oh, he's put it down. What's on the football, Brad? Did you put Vaseline on the ball or something?
It's the wind, Matt.
It's not the wind. It's not the wind.
Makes people crazy.
And Bronson Sherry's down in back play. Whether he's pulled a muscle or it's just out and out embarrassment. But I think he got smashed after he passes that ball.
It didn't look as though Sean was even looking at the football when it was delivered. Seen some of the best butchered tries ever this weekend.
Connor Watson yesterday.
Connor Watson threw 3 dummies before he got to the fullback.
And then threw it forward 3 metres.
Yeah, I think we used the word scrappy earlier in this game, Matt. It hasn't changed after 28 minutes.
Gee, that was a slaughter, wasn't it?
Oh, that's gold medal. Top of the class.
So Frizzell on the 30-metre line. McInnes skips out, goes to Hunt. Now Norman can't squeeze inside of Sherry. In fact, he does. He broke out of that tackle. But the reinforcements have come in the shape of Gallen and Graham. 19 metres out. McInnes. And here's Jackson Ford in his second NRL appearance. 2 passes to Hunt, who finds Widdop and then wraps around the back of Leilua and goes to Laffey. He's going to come back the other way. Frizzell for Leilua. He dummied to no one, and again, and then threw a scrappy ball on the ground, which bounced twice, and then Ford has it. And we're back to where we started. Corey Norman. This is a deep kick. It's far too deep.
Hamlin-Ueli out in the game now for the Sharks. Aaron Woods coming off after the opening half hour. Sharks lead by 12, but it could have easily been 18 or 24.
The game's first try scorer today, Aaron Woods. And Jack Williams, who has played every match of the season for Cronulla.
He adds a lot off the bench. It's the top speed really quickly.
Here's Graham for Bronson Sherry. Tackled by Aitken. 27 metres out from the Dragons line. Townsend for Gallen.
Last tackle, Zach. Hold. Cameron, hold.
Tackled by Zach Lomax. Away through Chad Townsend. Johnson chips it over the top. It lands in no man's land. Ravalawa's back to get it, and he's happy to surrender in the tackle and quickly go to ground. And Laffey, muscle. Taking a long time for these Dragons players to get back. And in the meantime, there is some testing defence coming their way. Hamlin Ueli involved with Brayley there. Here's Blake Laurie into the game, jumper 16. That's a fourth tackle.
He'll add some enthusiasm, Blake Laurie.
And now Corbin Sims. That was a no-nonsense run. And it gives Ben Hunt a bit of time to bang a kick downfield, but straight to Matt Moylan, who goes to Fecky. And he can run back and be tackled just short of the halfway line. They're certainly winning the territorial battle, Cronulla, aren't they? Williams over the halfway. Graham, the tackler. Brayley to Townsend, to Hamlin Ueli. A real handful.
Well, Paul McGregor's tried to close up the gaps by getting freshman out there in Sims, Laurie and Ford. I think there are more points coming for Cronulla before half-time.
Johnson for Dugan. He gives it to Fecky. He's got one to beat. Norman stood up to him and put him down. Now Dugan, he's going to try his hand on the last play. And he's tackled.
They just got to keep coming to their right side. Sharks, Laffey and Ravalawa just aren't working together. No communication, no combination in defence. Laffey keeps coming in. Ravalawa is just hanging back, so they keep coming to that side. The Sharks are going to get some joy.
They've got to try and find a way to get the football down the other end of the park, the Dragons, don't they? They've been... Might as well be building a house down here at the moment. Here's Aitken. Oh, this is risky. Lomax has got to fling it back. They've lost 20 metres. It's tackle number 2. Gee. Graham for Sims. That was a good tackle by Sean Johnson on a much bigger man. And now Laurie, and now Hunt. They've got some numbers out here. Aitken accelerates. Townsend gets across in cover. He keeps the ball alive to Hunt, who gives it for Lomax. He dummied infield. He's going to kick ahead. And now he wants a chaser. And there's a few of them there, but the ball's going to beat everyone.
Well, they're two beautiful passes from Ben Hunt in that movement. The first one, cut out pass, nice and flat to his outside man. And then this one. That was an easy pass to throw forward, but he was able to make sure his winger got it. And unfortunately for Zach Lomax and the Dragons, he kicked it too far. 6.5 minutes out from half time. Still think there are some points to come for the Sharks.
It's all blue on the metres gain board as we approach half time.
Right now. Square, Corbin, get in. Good work, mate.
Now Brayley. He got manhandled by Corbin Sims. Sean Johnson to Britton Nakora. Plays it on the 30-metre line. Townsend goes 2 passes wide to Moylan, who feeds Graham. And a kick to the corner, but a bit too much weight on it. such a dangerous player on that left-hand side, Wade Graham.
Hold for it, fellas. Hold for tap, Billy.
He doesn't normally get that kick wrong, does he? He's normally pinpoint accurate with it. And certainly Bronson Sherry and Josh Morris have enjoyed playing outside of the highly skilled Graham in the matches he's had so far this year. Just his 6th appearance for the Sharks in an injury-interrupted campaign. Didn't start his season until late, and then he did a great job for New South Wales in the last 2 Origin matches on the back of very little club football. Now Ben Hunt wants to take them on himself, and he's tackled 6 metres. Cronulla side of halfway. Blake Laurie, oh, great tackle. And it's Graham. Solid contact that. A kick now for Aitken in behind them. Lomax is giving chase. Oh, it's taken a leg break away from Moylan. And Jackson Ford has scored his first NRL try. That was a cruel bounce.
Try. Just confirm the grounding. Yep, try.
We've got downward pressure by Jackson Ford in the end goal. We have a decision.
Well, the referee's 2 metres away. Can we just award a try?
A memorable moment this for Jackson Ford from Gerringong in his 2nd NRL match. He's chased a kick through, and he was Johnny on the spot.
There's nice play. When the centre gets the ball, Isuzu D-Max replay,
just my distance, G.
the winger has to come up, so there's so much room in behind. They isolate Moylan, and then a cruel bounce, and they get over. Freddie?
Well, 5 minutes ago, he spoke about how they were going to get out of trouble. And it was a Ben Hunt pass that got him out of trouble. And just before Zach Lomax kicked the ball last time, it was a Ben Hunt pass. And this time just creates a bit of space for the man, Ewan Aitken. And beautiful little leg break there. Caught Matty Moylan the worst possible time. Couple of minutes going into dummy, into half time, sorry. This could be a game turner. They're going to have a big breeze behind them.
I know he lost his footing there, but in the past we have seen Matt Moylan actually overrun the football at fullback on a couple of occasions. He actually commits himself too fully, and then find it's difficult to kind of backtrack. Yes, he tried to change direction to come back and lost his footing, but he can put himself in an awkward position sometimes in covering a kick.
Widdop converts. Jackson Ford scores a valuable try in the context of this match for St George Illawarra. Another one of the emerging Dragons' young guns. And that kick clearly was a cruel one for Moylan, but he was where he needed to be at the right time.
Something from Gerringong.
Yeah.
A great place that is doing.
Jaden now. Square, Braden. Good work, fellas, too.
Yeah, it's a well-known rugby league name in Gerringong. We'll check and see if it's related to Peter, who was a back rower at Parramatta. Played a fair bit of first grade back in the 80s. As Corbin Sims loses the football.
Must have been down there a few times and called in to see Mick Cronin at the pub. He wasn't there. Probably dodged a bullet then. Yeah.
He was there, he just saw you coming.
What does it be, you Parramatta blokes all retiring down to Gerringong, or in Mick's case, continuing to work very hard down there? It's a home away from home for former Parramatta players. 9 errors against 6. That's a high error count when you consider the conditions out there.
Well, this is a huge 2 minutes here for the Dragons. Now, they look like conceding more points, but they've got one on the board now. They're only 6 behind. That'll be a good result for them going in at half-time. After they've been opened up on numerous occasions by Cronulla. Sherry now coming from left centre into the centre of the field.
Together now. Jeremy square.
This is Billy Magoulias, the young tearaway. Gets a second NRL cap this afternoon with Andrew Fafita gone with a knee injury. Johnson playing over the left-hand side of the park there. Links up with Graham. Oh, no dummy half. That was quick. Moylan just got there in the nick of time. And then Williams, he'll be tackled 12 metres out from the Dragons line. Fifth and last tackle. Maybe Cronulla's last of the half. Townsend for Johnson joining in. He slips over as he tried to change direction and will succumb in the tackle.
Of course, he was on that block line running towards the sideline. It just closes down any option for him to run. He was thinking right foot step then, but of course he was running in that angle. There's no way he could change. You have a look, he's out the back on this angle, running across field. He wanted to go right foot inside Leilua. Of course he's facing the sideline. Makes it impossible.
Pete, when you consider the way this half's gone, I reckon the Dragons would be stoked with 12-6, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. 6 is very skinny. Kept them interested. And conversely, the Sharks go in after, I haven't seen the line break count, but it's 4-0. 4-0 the Sharks. They only scored the 2 tries and they lead by 1 converted.
And with it, he kicks for himself. He's going to get another boot on it. Bit of the old soccer talent rising to the fore there, but the half-time siren will send the teams to the sheds with Cronulla leading by 6. Sharks with a 6-point lead as we enter the second half here in Chemist Warehouse Sunday football from PointsBet Stadium here in the Shire, the local derby. And really, when you look at the scoreline, it doesn't reflect just how dominant Cronulla were in that first 40 minutes. They left at least a couple of tries out there. But they are in front, and they've got first use of the footy after half-time with Braden Hamlin-Uele. Tackled 8 and out from his own line. And Billy Magoulias, junior New South Wales representative. Second match this afternoon. Here's Nakora. Tackled short of the 30-metre line. An inside pass from Townsend to Jack Williams. Cameron McInnes helping to make the tackle. He's 30th of the afternoon, and we've just ticked over into the second half.
Really nice pass there from Magoulias.
Norman at the back. Passes to Ravalawa. Oh, he got singled out there by Nakora, but he's tried to push a ball. He's handed it straight back to the Sharks. And Williams has it, 18 out from the Dragons line. Paul McGregor probably hasn't got up to the coach's box yet. He'll get a shock when he does and sees that on replay.
You know, the acceptable and unacceptable risks we were talking about. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Well, this is really critical right here, right now for the Dragons as Townsend goes to the left to kick him behind. Norman's got it covered. That is going to be put out.
When he got tackled, Ravalawa, I could see him trying to get the arm loose. I was thinking, surely not, surely not, surely not. It's only the second set from half-time.
The things that bugs teammates is that he gets to go back out on that far wing. He doesn't have to worry about doing a tackle in the next 4 or 5.
You reckon they should make him defend in the middle?
Exactly.
Go in the middle for about 10 minutes.
Here goes Braden Hamlin-Uele. Straight into the teeth of the Dragons' defence with McInnes there, Lattimore in 14. Corbin Sims in 15. Magoulias. Tackled by Jackson Ford. Here goes Moylan on a search mission. Steps inside of Laurie. But he's tackled to ground by his former Panther teammate, Jeremy Lattimore.
Jeremy, not square. Jeremy.
Hamlin-Uele rumbling through the middle. He tried to push a pass away. Knocked on by St George. Illawarra, more pressure coming.
Get a lot out of their interchange, the Sharks. This young man, Emlyn Ueli, look at this. The power, the acceleration just burns through him.
Here we go, fellas.
But also Jack Williams, he adds a lot. Kurt Capewell, a very underrated player.
One more, Sharks.
Get a lot from their bench.
One more. Okay, head in now, Corey. Let's go, Jaden.
Hold here, guys. Hold
Head in
it.
now, mate. All right, cock off. Stay in, Corey. Stay in.
Now they're split 3 players each side of the scrum here. They're going to go left. Townsend over to Moylan, sneaks through a gap. Moylan for the line. He's going to get over, but they're going to surround the ball.
Well, there's dramas for Ben Hunt in back play.
Time out, mate. Time out.
And Ford, I think, is the other one.
Guys, I've actually got to tackle one
In the
here.
first half, when Wade Graham got clear, Ben Hunt was holding his shoulder.
No, we can play the ball here because the ball's out.
Well, you assume here that Ford and Hunt have clashed straight away. For the halfback, the sideline has been consulted. Wallace is back.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, that's
yuck. Ugh.
There's impact number 1. Here's impact number 2. Oh, just out of screen. Oh, that's a heavy collision. Oh, no. Oh.
And if you look at Ford, the back of the Moylan boot hits him in the head as well. Whilst we're looking at Ben Hunt, Jackson Ford also gets taken by the boot of Matt Moylan.
Well, he's lucky Ben Hunt, he didn't break his jaw.
Have a look at the man closest to the man. Bang, there goes the heel into his forehead.
See, Matt Moylan's never caused so much damage in the space of one play before, has he?
And that's tackle 1.
Yeah. All right. So the Dragons halfbacks off for HIA. Townsend spins it away. Magoulias, Johnson, Dugan. 10 tries in the season for Josh. He's tackled 8 out from the Dragons line. Here's Williams. Brought down in the tackle of Blake Laurie. Left to Townsend. Here's Hamlin Ueli at a gap. They've just got him. Only just got him. He was nearly through it. Townsend. He sold the dummy to everyone. Comes right across the other side of the park. And with it, there's experience. Snaps him out, ball and all. Johnson to the air. Lomax has left his own in goal, so he's allowed to come back to the 20 and take a quick restart, and that's precisely what he does. They've done well to get out of that.
Work to me, all the way home, guys.
Billy, go 10.
Work to me. Here we go, Jaden.
He said at half-time that Paul McGregor would be happy to be within 6. Well, the longer he's within 6, we've seen this so many times. If teams can hang in when they get the lion's share of possession coming back the other way, that they can score points and really put the team under pressure.
Well, the next try in this game is absolutely huge as to who scores that. We see Corbin Sims doing some damage here. Wade Graham going low, getting his head in a bad position. See Graham going low here. He cops the point of the elbow of Corbin after he ducks his head. Yeah, next try in this game, Matt, if Cronulla score it, establish a good lead, and you'd imagine they'd go on with it, but if the Dragons get it, they grow in confidence, a bit more belief. Love to cause an upset against their arch rival.
Yeah, the doctors, mate. Here come. Let's go, Corbin. Tackle 3, mate. Stay square, Jaden.
Graham cleared to continue. Laurie.
Okay, Billy, now.
Picks up 10 metres, tackled in the middle of the park. There goes Corey Norman for Frizzell. Moves out onto that left-hand edge.
Go 10, Josh.
Started at lock forward. Here goes Widdop with a high, deep one. Oh, it's bounced back towards the Dragons. Aitken! Can he get it down? No!
Chad Townsend, great job.
Wow!
Yeah, great job here on Ewan Aiken. They looked destined to score when he got the perfect bounce.
Oh.
Play there, G.
They got the ball. See what happens.
Hold. Hold! Go.
Well, that was a bit of luck for the Sharks.
Now, Jeremy, work to me, Corbin. Hold, Cameron.
And now Josh Dugan has got a bit of an issue out the back.
Ewan all the way. Tyson here. Ewan, hold. Let Janet go two.
No, mate.
Off the ball, play.
He's got a bit of a groin problem out there, Josh Dugan. He's pushed Sasai Feki into the centre position.
Hold. Release Jackson. Work to me, Jeremy. Hold. No, locked in.
That was a slow motion error, Matt.
Let's get $6.
Does he do a crocodile roll here? Crocodile
Get
roll.
6 here, Sharks.
Loses the chicken out of his mouth. That's one lucky chicken.
Hold it. Hold, fellas, hold. Hold right down.
Yes, Brad.
Patrick Kafusi didn't pass his HIA, so he won't be back.
Thank you for that.
Hold square, hold square.
Well, the Dragons still only a converted try behind. Here's Lattimore.
And Jaden straight up now.
26 short of the Cronulla's goal line. They're defending the southern end of the ground here in the second half. Corbin Sims with a typically robust run at them. Centre field, 15 short. Play to McInnes. Out the back to Leilua. Leilua nearly through. Magoulias and Moylan bring his run to an end. And the Dragons have got a penalty. Whether they wanted a penalty in that situation is another matter.
Just anywhere in one here, Cameron.
If they can score here, it is a very interesting proposition.
Well, if they do score here, all of a sudden the Sharks start to think about all the missed opportunities they've had up to this stage.
5 out from the line. Cameron McInnes, Leilua, and then Widdop floats one out for Laffey. Dugan got him with a good legs tackle. Now Ravalawa got it away to Norman, then Lattimore. He's going to run one out. Playing it 4 short of the line. Inside ball to Sims off Norman. Tackled right under the black dot. Norman, Tyson Frizzell. Nakora got himself in front, so did Johnson, so did Moylan. Widdop. Oh, it's been cleaned up well by Brayley.
That's right, Jeremy. Hold it in, Janet. Hold, Luke. Hold.
Okay, move.
Hold it. Hold, go.
Matt Moylan's come off the ground
Mike
here.
Jackson. All the way, Ewan.
He is.
Hold, Jeremy.
He's out over the dead ball line. Kirk Capel's got onto the field. He's only just back from a hamstring problem, Moylan. This is interesting.
Yeah, well, Dugan's gone to fullback. Nakora to right centre. Brad Fittler.
Well, he had strapping on his right knee, and the trainer came on, cut it off because it looked uncomfortable. And obviously it wasn't just the strapping.
Well,
It's obviously the injury.
Yeah. Well, he seems to be walking okay, Brad. We'll await your update down there. Now, meantime, the Sharks have made another error. They just keep inviting the Dragons back.
I heard about that, Matt, and in this game I talk about missed opportunities. You know, so often you look back and you think, well, those chances missed, how costly they can prove.
Let's go, Josh.
Now, the 2 competition points here for the Sharks in relation to where they sit on the ladder and 3 games after this one to go. It's huge. There you see the strapping being removed by Matt Moylan earlier, but it would appear to no avail at this stage.
He's up the tunnel. Here goes Laurie. An offload for Corbin Sims. Williams in the corner, but he's able to get the ball back. Now McInnes on the pickup. Hamlin Ueli ripped it away. That was superb.
Yeah, and he's got it back.
Oh, it's a double steal.
Oh, I love the way Hamlin Ueli, he appeals to the referees as well.
We have seen some extraordinary things here. The old Bermuda Triangle, eh? 10 out from the line. Corbin Sims is rattled. The earth is shaking. Hamlin Ueli collared him. Here's Leilua. He runs behind his own man. Now he's going to surrender in the tackle.
Oh, what's going on here?
And Norman runs himself. There's Hamlin Ueli, the hitman. He's got him 3 short of the line. If Widdop can't find points, can he find a repeat set? No, it's another kick. Oh, the ball's there.
He's offside, is he?
Oh, they knocked it on, Cronulla. Magulius is laying on it.
Laying an egg. Chair for the crocodile.
Look at that one. Oh,
great time.
How dare somebody steal the ball off me?
Bradley.
Yeah, well, Matt Moylan's gone back in to see if they can re-strap that knee. Hopefully he feels more comfortable. He might still be play the back end of the game. And something else is crazy. Luciano Leilua, he's playing halfback.
Well, we've seen a bit of that this year when they've had to mix and match in the halves. Might have played there a couple of weeks ago. Certainly during Origin, he's played a bit there. Now, Laffey on the 10. 6 points the gap. Warry rolls into the defence. Tackled under the posts. Magulius was the chief defender. McInnes out for Norman. And then away to Widdop. He tries the in and away, but he's not going to get away from Josh Morris. He makes the tackle well. He's going to right centre, Josh, as part of this backline shuffle up. Ravalawa finds Norman, who floats it over for the world's biggest halfback, Leilua. He's going to kick. And they might have lost it forward again. Cronulla, it's a Cronulla ball. Oh, the ball's come out this time. Strip.
He's already held on the ground.
And after all of that, absorbing so much defensive pressure, they have won a penalty and everyone can just calm down a little bit.
That was a golden opportunity there for the Dragons. Camped themselves down here for the last 5 minutes, but really didn't look like getting over. With that reshuffle, Kurt Capel, he's gone to left wing with Matt Moylan leaving the field and Dugan to the back.
Down to Brad.
Yeah, Ben Hunt as well as Patrick Kavusi, they both failed their HIA. So
yeah,
they're down to 15, the Dragons.
Pretty high attrition rate in this game so far, and we've still got 26 minutes left.
He come through the ruck and knocked it out. Through the ruck. It's a late tosser.
Sean Johnson for Jack Williams.
Move together, Kevin!
McInnes made the tackle, so did Frizzell. And away from Magulius.
Jeremy, move! Corey!
Tackled 19 out from the Dragons line. Comes away to Townsend. He'll turn it back for Hamlin Ueli. He gets an offload. Brayley in support. Chop down on the 10-metre line. Dugan away to Townsend, and then the Cora. Gareth Widdop read that well, so did Tyson Frizzell. 5 metres out from the line. Ball in now for Williams. Here's the last tackle. Haven't posed any real pressing questions to the Dragons' defence on this set so far. Johnson will kick to the in-goal. Ravalawa's back there. Oh! He had a clean play at that. Josh Morrison couldn't hang on to it.
I think Ravalawa's got there simultaneously and was able to put him off.
Out, Jaden, all the way. Keep coming, Jack. Hold Wade. Go 0.
Jaden!
Brad Fittler, as Cameron McInnes finds good metres up the middle again. What's the crowd reaction to what they're seeing after 55 minutes here?
Well, they've stopped watching. There's 13,652. They're all just talking to each other now.
Hold, Jaden. Hold. Oh, wait. Go 1.
Well, the team's got a place in the top 8 at stake here.
Hold, Jaden. Hold.
Sims for Widdop, for Norman. Lappey's there if he wants him. Decides to go to the line himself.
Up, Josh. Back to me, Jaden. Hold here. Hold.
Now Frizzell, powerful run. Offloading for McInnes. There's Graham. Oh, again Hamlin-Ueli. Oh, Graham pushes it out. McInnes dives on the football.
Back to me. All right, Billy. Hold. Hold, Billy. Hold. Go forward.
Lattimore winds up, goes inside the Sharks' 20-metre zone. Widdop kicks it into the in goal. Dugan's back there, but they're going to swarm.
The lead up there, nice kick in the end by Widdop. It's a repeat set. But offloads in the modern game are so important because teams put so many defenders into the tackle. So the Dragons get an offload there, and then the ball comes out and it just goes to James Graham. When the ball comes out like that, you have to move the ball to your strike players, or your half has to take them on. You just can't get that offload and just pass it on to a middleman just for a set like that. You've got to strike on those players.
A couple of really important efforts there from Ravalawa, who's had some ordinary moments this afternoon. At one end, he saved Josh Morris, or stopped Morris from scoring, and on that occasion he kept Dugan back in the in-goal area to keep the pressure on as Lattimore tries to spin out of the tackle of Nakora, can't do so. Brayley comes in to help.
Sims now carries the ball to within 6 metres of the Sharks' goal line. Corey Norman can't thread the needle. It's a Williams knock on though. How are they going to get through here, Pete? They've been throwing everything at them, but they just haven't breached Cronulla's goal line defence.
I think an offload's it's just all scrappy. Yeah, nice work there from Williams, but he just can't pick it up after throwing his boot out. You can't overestimate the importance of the 2 competition points for Cronulla this afternoon. They lead by 6 for coming in the final quarter of the game. How they almost haven't wrapped it up at this stage, I don't know.
Head in, Josh. Stay in, stay in. Stay in, feed it, stay in! Out. And
Norman offload Lua, now Aitken.
Matt, in answer to your question, I think every team is vulnerable.
Oh, hang on, Aitken! Oh, how about that?
Every team is vulnerable to the kick in behind. They just need to keep an eye on where Josh Dugan is. Whatever tackle it is, kick to take advantage of it.
Graham first receiver for Widdop. He's going to send the long pass out to Ravalawa. He scurries and gets the ball back infield. It was a forward pass. Again, the Sharks have just held on.
Well, it's an all or nothing play. Always found attacking the line in good field position. The best passes are the ones that travel less than a metre.
6 and 6, guys.
That's a 101 pass.
When I go back, Josh Dugan was the A defender, the first defender. There's nobody at home in behind that line. And there aren't better kickers in general playing in that regard than Gareth Widdop and Corey Norman. Just set it up.
But once again, when Gareth got the ball, he was running straight towards the sideline. He's no threat with the ball.
All the way, Cameron, go 1.
Dowell's back out there.
Jeremy out, James to me. James, Cameron.
Take him a while to get warm these days, wouldn't it, Pete? At 38, he'd have to spend 20 minutes on the exercise bike.
I watched him down the sideline. He put the body through a rigorous workout before going back out. And just got news as we see Wade Graham come down the left side. Jackson Ford is Peter Ford's nephew. So nephew and uncle. Peter Ford, very, very good back rower in Parramatta back in the 80s.
Johnson on the last. Whacks it down. It'll get inside the 10. Norman will pick it up. He's going to ask Zach Lomax to run it back. Those fluorescent boots are starting to come into their own now underneath the floodlighting. Oh, Norman one-handed pickup. Now Corbin Sims. We've gone past the hour mark. Still only a converted try the difference. Paul Vaughan. This is Graham. He's been tackled by Woods. He plays the ball back. Widdop's going to do the kicking. Dugan's underneath it. Lomax is chasing hard, and Dugan won the battle. Nicely done. And he's broken out of the tackles.
Been strong today, Josh Dugan. Great return there with the ball.
Tyson Brazil's hobbling in back play here. Cora taken well in the McInnes tackle. It's his 40th now. Oh, Williams has lost it. That was a difficult pass from Gallen. That's not what you'd expect from Gal in these circumstances, to put his younger teammate under such pressure. Here's Aitken with it. Surely if they keep getting all this ball down here, they're going to crack them open at some stage. They have had a stack of possession. Dragons down by 6. Graham, he's 11 metres out. It goes to Cameron McInnes, and the ball through Widdop. It finds Norman. Frizzell! Good defence. Penalty.
I'm not going to keep calling all day. No, Josh.
Ooh, Tyson stumbled out of that one.
Oh. Already down to 15.
And when he got up to walk away, he had the wobbly boot on.
So Ben Hunt's gone for the game. Kafusi gone, and now Tyson Frizzell might be joining them.
Gets picked up, slammed on his back. His head hits the ground.
Graham. There's a bit of deja vu about all this, isn't it? 5 out from the line. Cameron McInnes, Vaughan with brute power. No.
He is a man to be followed.
Leilua out to Widdop, and then Norman, nice hands around the back. Lomax, he's going to run out of room. He went to ground to avoid being dragged out. Woods has been called off. Oh, another bone-rattling tackle. It's Nakora this time. McInnes, oh, that hand from Graham saved a try. For the moment, at least. Leilua, 6 more. Oh, has he bounced it?
No, he scored. He's got it down. He spins around. It was scrappy like this game has been, but they have finally got the ball over the line, the Dragons.
Oh!
Okay. Let's have a look at it. I thought he just slams it down hard, and that's why it comes out the way it does. So what are we looking for here? The short pass here to...
Graham touched it.
The ball's played out by Cronulla.
Yes,
Tackle count restarts. We'll go through to grounding. There's no breach by the Dragons up until this point.
So if Leilua bounces it, the Dragons will get the ball back.
Ford's fine.
We're playing on.
So play on here. He's just got to get the ball down. He does slam it down hard, and there is an element that he bounces it, but I think he gets it down. Yeah,
he does.
Absolutely.
Wow. 2-point ball game. We're about to be locked up.
Grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
Well, they had to score.
Well,
didn't they?
Well, they did. They did with the amount of possession, but they have got some key men sitting on the sideline at the moment, which wasn't helping their cause. And that man there, their halfback,
yes,
Luciano Leilua, biggest number 7 you've ever seen, gets the much-needed try.
Alana.
World's biggest halfback. Well done. They needed those points, the Dragons. The Sharks were able to keep him out for a little while, but they were able to get over in the end. These next points are very important.
Honestly, it's that kind of game, isn't it? I'm not surprised that that's the type of try we see scored to what you would think would level up at 12 all with 15.5 minutes to go.
We're locked together. It's been sloppy, but it's a 12-all ball game, and Cronulla, as we know, are fighting for a place in the 8.
Well, who wins from here? Sterling?
I just think Cronulla, they were going to win this all game. I just thought that if they kept repelling the Dragons, which they'd done, once they got down the other end and got a bit of ball, that they run the points in. But I don't know, there's some pressure on them now. They know their situation. I still think Cronulla win. I'm not confident.
Good run, Sims there. What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, they're going to ride the Dragons. They're not going too well on the bench. Patrick Kafusi, Ben Hunt, and now Tyson Frizzell all failed the HIA.
Wow,
they're down to 14.
Yeah. Now Widdop with a testing kick for Dugan. Oh! Backwards. He was long odds. Oh! That copped another one up.
Oh. Well, I got a fortuitous call there. Oh, what's going on here? Honestly.
Well, a famous place down here in the Shire is Northies. They all been down there having a counter lunch at lunch together. A couple of cold ones. This is insane.
The Dragons inside the 10 with Sims driving at the line. They shoved him back. Another try here, and it's a real issue. Here's Laurie. Strong defence, Williams and Woods. Here's Widdop, here's Leilua. Oh, that was good defence, and I'll tell you, it was a good catch by Aiken under huge pressure. Capewell was right up there when he caught the ball. Here goes Vaughan. Tackle 4. They won their last 2 games here in Cronulla, the Dragons. Can they make it? 3 against the odds. Oh, wow.
Yeah, good on you, Matt. If it comes down to field goals, I favoured the Dragons. But surely the Sharks have got to get down the other end of the field at some stage. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, well, there's some more drama for the Dragons. Because of the 3 failed HIAs, they're now used up all their interchange. So now Tyson's failed his. They've used all 8, and with 12 minutes 45 seconds to go, she's going to be one of those great wins if they can grit it out.
Yeah, James Graham, the crazy Englishman, he's been ripping into Aaron Woods for that flop on Gareth Widdop. Wasn't happy with Aaron Woods jumping on his countryman. Oh. There he is, the boogeyman from England.
The only reason that flares up,
Oh, he doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve.
he flares that up.
Look at his ears, they're purple. Must be getting cold out.
Well, Cronulla have got the penalty. I'm getting a sore neck because I've only been watching down to the right-hand side from this Western grandstand.
Well, they've got to come to their left. Wade Graham's their man. Spoke about it in pre-game, that combination, Wade Graham and Sherry. And that's the side Leigh Lewis defending at halfback, so surely they can get at that edge.
Williams with it now. And Gallen picks up 12 metres. Away to Townsend. Here's Graham. And Bronson Sherry's coming around the back. Graham with a step. Offloading to Townsend. They wrap him up. Just. Last tackle. Cronulla will be confused by what they're seeing here. They're down the other end of the field for the first time in about 20 minutes. Offloading. Nakora flings it back. And, oh no, the Dragons have knocked it on.
Stop.
So Gal kicks the ball to a Dragons player.
Do you know what? You could see that in slow motion happening, couldn't you?
Gal kicks it to Lafayette, and Lafayette just drops it. And Gal says, yep, claps his hands.
All part of the plan.
Watch Gal's reaction here. He drops it. No, we missed it. Priceless.
Let's go, Sharks!
Do you take one? You're right.
You know what? We're heading for Golden Ball. I can feel it.
No, you've got to have a couple of shots at him down here against a team that is tiring. Who haven't had to defend this end for ages. Sherry now back on the inside.
With a good step. He's a metre or two out. He's put down by Leilua.
No, stay down here for 5 or 6 minutes. Just keep the pressure on.
Here's Gal. Crashes into Vaughan and McInnes. Chad Townsend to Johnson. They get him in the tackle on the 10-metre line. Blake Laurie, the 16, along with Graham, made the tackle. It's with Townsend, it's with Woods. Gets within 4 metres of the line now. They're going to go left. It's with Townsend. He looked to poke in the goal. Cherry on the angle! Oh! He didn't get the ball down.
Tackle!
It's back over. I've got no try.
My
Cameron
goodness.
McInnes. Cameron McInnes.
No try, just confirm when he does roll.
Leads our defensive line, and on this occasion, one-on-one against the flying Sherry.
This is try saver of the year. Oh.
Doesn't get down. We come out to the 10-metre
Ball
line.
always remains up from Bronson Sherry when the tackle is completed. We have a decision.
Oh, that's incredible.
He's been their best all year too, McInnes. Had a patchy year, the Dragons, but every week he turns up.
1 point, Townsend.
Not today. Maybe if you backheeled it.
Pete, can you stop laughing?
Oh, no, look, I'm a neutral observer here. I just... we do come to this ground and you do see some strange things. That 12 all, 9.5 to go. 17 plays 14.
Oh, good run. Ravalawa.
And the team that needs...
Or McInnes.
Even the crowd's laughing.
Oh, Paul McGregor's not.
Yeah, the coach is up.
Becky, they can't put him on the ground. He'll play it 6 metres over the halfway. Here goes Townsend. And now Woods. Well, Chad Townsend might have showed his cards on the last attacking set down here. He's going to go to the left-hand side. Now, Sherry back on the angle. This is only tackle 3. Sherry put down. A couple more to the post, and Townsend might be happy to go ahead by 1. Gallen's going to try and set it up for him. Oh, he breaks out of a tackle, Gal. Now Townsend to the left. They're going to go right instead. Johnson kicking to the in goal. And they're happy to play it out.
Well, if field goal to what they're thinking, and it's certainly what Chad Townsend thought was the right option, you don't get a better opportunity than this to work it in, tackle 3, tackle 4, on the back of a quick play the ball, get to good position for your kicker, and you can set it up perfectly here as Corey Norman gets one to bounce once before Townsend gathers.
And here's Hamlin Ueli carting it back into Graham. 7.5 left. On the 30-metre line, Aaron Woods with it. Picks up 11 metres, tackled by James Graham.
From 2 passes left, get a quick play the ball, take the shot.
Here's Townsend. He's going to go to an edge. He finds Johnson, who leaves Leilua behind, then changes direction. This is where he's dangerous, Johnson, but he's tackled into the ground. Now Townsend wants a screen.
He's lost it.
He's lost the ball.
Just wait. Corbin's still down. All right, he's up now, all up. Clock's on. Dragons feed here. Let's get 6, fellas.
How can the Dragons get to a kick now?
Let's get 6.
Here it is, guys.
Well, the completion
Cameron,
rates
bring
at the
him up,
moment
mate.
for the Sharks, 26 from
Let's go,
38.
Cameron.
From the Dragons, 24
Let's
from
go, boys.
35.
Josh.
Down now. Okay, clock off.
Macca's Thursday night
Get in
footy.
now. Stay in. Out.
And this will be a rivalry close to Peter Sterling's heart. The Eels and the Bulldogs. How good are Canterbury going? Sensational.
Okay, trade
That's at
straight
Bankwest
out
Stadium.
now. Hold square.
And then VB Friday night footy. Broncos Rabbitohs. Bennett versus Seabold up at Suncorp.
Move
Now,
now.
Aaron.
Go to.
Paul Vaughan
And together.
Now, Chad.
can only
Just play
take
the
a
ball.
couple of metres.
Just Paul,
They'll
don't
rip
roll
in
that
the
cancel.
Eels and the Dogs.
Oh, my word.
Paul, leave it.
Now Graham
Leave it.
got a nice offload to Leilua, who slips out into Cora's tackle and gets through. Floats one up for Widdop. Widdop to the 40, kicks ahead, Ravalawa and Laffey chasing. I think the ball's going to beat everyone.
He's the man, Leilua. Just some X factor in him, footwork, power, great skill. I wonder if you'd like to have that one again, Gareth.
7 tackle set. Brad.
Just prior to that set, Dean Young, the trainer, ran on and said to the Dragons, no long-range field goals, we can't give them 7 tackles.
Oh dear.
Yep, yep, always the one.
Yeah.
Move together,
Straight up
James.
now, Paul. Cameron square.
Hold in.
Cronulla haven't scored from
Go to Corbin.
the 21st minute.
Gallen goes over the halfway. Under 5 to go. 12 each. Chad Townsend, Bronson Sherry. Well, if Leilua is the Dragons man, Andrew, Bronson, he looks the most likely of the Sharks, doesn't he?
Wade Graham and Bronson Sherry. That's the side.
Last one. Where's Townsend? He's too far out.
No, just got to kick high and keep the pressure on.
Here is a hot ball at the back for Norman. It's a very shallow one. It's bounced back for Sherry. You wouldn't believe it. After everything we've seen, a kick rebound lands with Bronson Sherry and the bunker needs to make a call.
Jared. Tackle 6. We have a try. Can you confirm if the deflection actually goes forward for a knock-on or it's backwards?
They're all on side.
The Cronulla left side kick chase is cleared as onside.
He misses it.
Air swing.
Of course it's an air swing. There's always going to end up something.
Oh.
Does it hit him on the head? No. Parts his hair on the way through. Oh, what a game.
Oh, has that touched the arm?
If it touches his head, it's not a knock-on, but is
But
it?
does it touch the arm? Look.
Oh. Well, where is the man who gets it in relation to the touch? Is he offside? Where are we?
Yeah, it touches his left hand.
Yeah.
That one there.
This might be a knock on.
Yeah.
That angle there shows it
Yeah.
perfect. What's the left hand? Or does it?
Oh. Well, look, they've said try on the field.
We're just looking to determine any possible breach by Wade Graham.
We've got to watch the fingers, whether they...
Go out and ask him.
Well, there's the ball changed direction. Something's on it.
Now, if it doesn't touch him, he's on side. He's fine, Sherry, to play on, and that'll win the game.
How big a call's this?
Well,
This is top 8 stuff.
The big call was try on field.
The ball definitely changes the angle after it hits Wade Graham.
Bronson Sherry is onside from the kick chase. There's no breach by Cronulla in the lead
try.
up.
Wow.
We've got a live ball to this point. And he grounds the ball in the end goal.
Now,
We have a decision.
if the on-field call had been no try, I don't think there was sufficient evidence to change that either. So the call of try has been very, very advantageous to the home side.
I thought that front-on angle showed it perfect. Where's Freddie? I need his glasses. I see the D-Max replay, and you always got the feeling this is the way it was going to end.
Well, there's still
Bronson
time.
Sherry, he was always the man. Wade Graham to Bronson Sherry. That's in there. You can see the ball changes its angle. Freddie.
The good thing for the crowd's sake was they haven't been watching for the last 20 minutes. They're all on their 6th schooner, anyone over 18. And all those replays just actually showed them what was happening on the field. So we actually saw their first bit of footy in 20 minutes.
When the kick goes up, it starts to blow back. And Ewan Aitken, who is actually the centre marking Bronson Sherry, as it's coming out, he actually runs into the fullback position just in case. Now, in retrospect, he's better off standing alongside his centre, and he may have claimed him straight away, but he actually runs 15, 20 metres in behind to act as a fullback, and Sherry gets a clean take.
Johnson taking every last second he can out of the game clock.
He was offside. They've come up with the tricky kickoff, but I reckon one of the chasers on the left-hand side didn't know it was on and ended up offside.
I thought Corey Norman, when he dummied the kick, he was in front of a kicker.
Yes. Well, he's got to be. Here we go. Feigns to kick. This is
5 metres.
Oh, this has been the best.
Now, Gallen has it. A one-on-one attempt by McInnes goes astray. Now for Williams. If Cronulla tighten up and hold the ball, they win the game. They're going to try and find the sideline, you'd have to imagine. Johnson, no, he's going to kick long. Oh, this is a long kick. One bounce, 2, 3. He's got to play Lomax. You want to be quick. He's back. That was a perfect kick in the end. Now Ewan Aitken 90 seconds for the Dragons to go the length. You'd think it'd be beyond them. Although I wouldn't be surprised by anything that happened this afternoon. Now that's forward. Corey Norman. Away to Witter. Then to Sims, then to Ravalawa. Wrapped up in the tackle of Johnson and Morris. Blake Laurie bumps away from one. Graham juggle, got it back to Widdop. Then over to Leilua. Oh, they've lost the ball out of the game. That'll be it. Aitken puts down a low pass. This has been a really admirable effort by the Dragons when you consider where they've been this year. They've come here and given everything. And only that one stroke of fortune with the try given to Bronson Cherry is going to separate them from an upset win. Cronulla are going to be in the 8.
They played the next 2 games here at Shark Park. It hasn't been a great advantage this afternoon. They do get 3 in a row here in front of the faithful.
Warriors here, Raiders, that's a big game. Raiders here, then Tigers away, and Robbie Farrow's hoping to get back and play in that one at Leichhardt. Well, this has been some game, Pete.
Well, look, when it comes to errors, it's just been up there with the very best. Well, I've had a good afternoon.
It's been good fun. And Gal...
imagine doing that at another ground, the reaction.
Wade Graham's going to be tackled. There's the siren. Cronulla are into the 8. But haven't they done it the hard way today? They led 12-0 after 21 minutes. It was 12-all after 64. And a Bronson Cherry try with 4 minutes to go has proven the difference. Full time, Sharks 18, Dragons 12.